All right, welcome back. I'm glad to see you guys are making some progress with everything. I'm glad that some people have been contacting me to ask questions, and I'm glad our civilization looks a little bit more normal than it did yesterday. So, again, I invite you guys when you're working on your classes, please, reach out to me, or please don't be afraid, don't be hesitant to ask questions. Um, I, you can tell by my videos, I'm not really that much of a rules kind of guy. So, if you're having trouble with something, you're like, oh, I'm not going to make this deadline. I mean, I got one deadline I got to respect, which is the last day of class. Okay. Everything else, that's up to us. So you got to change something. We can, we're allowed to change it. So let me know. And, again, if you're running into trouble with something, please, give me a shout out and I'll be happy to provide something and see if we can't get you over that hump. So here's what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and share the screen. We're going to finish off chapter 5. We gotta get a start on chapter 7, and I got to remind myself to take out the late penalty for the homework because I don't want you guys having to suffer that. That's not. I don't think it's a. I don't think doing late. It's hard enough when you're late to keep it all together. That's enough of a penalty. I don't want to. I don't want to block points from you guys. And if you're anything like I was, like all I could manage to do yesterday was really sit on the couch and watch the news and figure out what the heck was going on. So I gotta move a quiz or two because I certainly wasn't able to get up for anything. So I'm not going to expect people are either. So excuse my heater, but it's always New Mexico. But here we go, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'll share the screen and we'll get on with the lecture and we'll get this thing started. All right. So here we go. Share screen. Click this down, put this up, and put this up. Okay. So, excuse me. So today we got a little bit of a start on metric systems yesterday. And what we want to do today is we want to be able to convert, things from inches into centimeters, things from grams into kilograms, or I'm sorry, pounds into kilograms, ounces into grams, um, teaspoons into milliliters, gallons into liters, that kind of stuff. Okay. And your book, as graciously shared, I don't expect you guys to memorize these conversion formulas. So, we're not, we don't have respondus monitor where you have to lock down or anything like that. So if you're looking, at this table here to help you convert, I think that's the appropriate thing to do. Okay, so if you're looking at this to kind of help you get through this, you're not cheating. If we were in a face-to-face class, I would print this out and tape it to your test. All right, so you are not cheating by looking at these conversion factors. Quite honestly, it isn't something that people memorize and carry around. Nobody does. All right, so this is not something that's on you. All right, let's do some problems and see how to set them up here. Okay, so we want to do 9¼ inches to centimeters. All right, that's what we're going to do. We're going to convert. So let's go ahead and say that we're going to convert. Convert 9¼ right? 9.25 inches. We want to convert that to centimeters. All right, so we have 9.25 inches. And we always start off our conversion by putting that over a 1, writing down the unit, and we're going to make our little TIE fighter. Okay. Now, we got to decide, do inches go on the top or the bottom? Well, I want to cancel it, so the inches are going to go on the bottom. Centimeters are going to go up here. Okay. Then we're going to go back to our book for a moment here. Okay, we're going to say, hey, 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. Okay, that is what they actually say here. So we're going to go back over here. Okay, and we have 2.54 centimeters for 1 inch. Notice the inches cancel out, and all we have left is a centimeter, and that's what we want our answer in. All right. So what we have here is we have 9.25 times 2.54. Now remember, these are not significant digits. These are a conversion factor. This is not a measurement. So you never include these decimals with your significant figures. This had 9 1/4. I don't know how to rate a fraction as far as our significant digits go. And that is going to be the problem for us. Okay. So I'm just going to go with 2 because until it yells at me, it tells me otherwise. Because 2 worked yesterday for me for pretty much everything I did. Okay. So we have 23, right? 23.95495. This is going to turn this guy into a 1, which is going to turn that, right? It's 49, like imagine, right? You have 49.5 cents. Like it's worth 50 cents. Okay. So I'm going to say 23.50. Okay. And again, I have a suspicion that this is going to tell me I'm wrong for some reason, but incorrect. Use the correct number of digits. How about we get rid of that? Check again. Okay. So again, if you're, going through homework and such, did I not write that down correctly? Round to 2 significant digits as needed. Did I not do my arithmetic? 9.23. That should be it. I don't know. What are we not doing here? I mean, it's a lucky thing that this thing isn't on the internet or anything like that, because there you go. Round to 2 significant digits, they lied. Okay, that's all I can tell you is they lied. So unfortunately, they get to grade the homework part of this. So I do it again, and we'll just stop at the ones. But whatever. When you guys are working on your quizzes and your final, I go through and look at that. If I see you wrote down 23.5 or 23.495, I'm marking that right. Okay? Don't look at that and say, yeah, I know the answer will be marked wrong on the test. You're going to go away feeling very depressed. But don't, those, you might be in for a little bit of a surprise for that one. By the way, I don't go through the thing and mark you down and say, oh, that was a dumb mistake. That deserves to be worth more than, no, we're not doing that. All right, so your test is only going to go up. All right, so we have 6.4 kilograms to pounds. All right, so again, I'm going to go through and look at this. So we've got what? We need our conversion factor here. So I know that 1 pound is equal to point. See, here's going to be rough. 1 pound equals 0.4536 kilograms. Okay, I always remember it the other way around, but we have 1 pound equals 0.4. What did they say? 0.4536. So if I know if it's 2.2 pounds to a kilogram, it makes it a little bit easier for me, but because the arithmetic goes faster. But you could rest, it's sort of like 1 pound, right? It's worth half a kilogram. So again, for the folks that do like, European weights or follow any kind of international weight type of thing, you guys are going to be more used to kilograms. So it's a couple of people. See, I read your introductions. I know. Some of you guys are into the fitness thing, so that means different things to different people, though. So I get it. So we have 6.4 kilograms to. We're just going to make it a fraction, okay? Because that's what our first deal is. That's our first TIE fighter, right? And what are we trying to get rid of? We're trying to get rid of kilograms. So we're going to put kilograms down here, okay? We're going to say 0.4536. Right? I'll put the 0 there because I know we have a phlebotomist and I want to make sure that we're good. 1 pound. Okay. So our operation on our calculator, right? Because these are going to cancel. We're left with pounds. So we're going to have 6.4 divided by. We're going to say 0.4536. All right. And that's going to be our answer, more or less. Then we got to figure out our significant digits, but we'll get that there. 6.4 divides, and we have 0.4536, right? 4536. And I ended up with 14.1-ish, 14.11. All right, I'm not going to need that many because at most I got 2 significant digits here. So I'm going to try for 14 and see if that does it. Probably yell at me for that one too, but hey, okay, it didn't yell at me. It told me I did a good job. All right, and that's pretty much what we're doing here. All right, we'll do a couple ones at the end too. We'll do this one and then we'll run to the end and see what that's going on. So this is 8.8 quarts to a liter. All right, so we have 8.8 quarts, and we have to go to liters. All right. Again, I don't have, like, I know that a liter is approximately a quart, but I don't know which one is bigger. I just know it's about 4 liters to a gallon, just like it's about 4 quarts to a gallon. But again, I don't remember which one is a bigger problem. So let's go ahead and look that up. Okay, so volume here, okay, is 1 quart is equal to, so a quart is a little bit bigger than a 1 quart is equal to not quite a liter. So 1 quart, 0.946 liters. Okay, so 1 quart equals 0.946 liters. Right? So here we go with the 8.8 quarts. I'm going to draw my TIE fighter. Here's my decimal. All right. And I want quarts down here because I want them to cancel. Right? And here's my liters. So we know it's 1 quart to 0.946 liters. There's cancel. Just left with liters. So arithmetically, we're going to calculate what we're going to do is we're going to do 8.8 times 0.946. All right. And that's what we've got. So 8.8 times 0.946. And we ended up with 8. Get here. I should move this so I can see it. 8.3248. Right? We're going to try to make some, even on your quizzes, you're going to try to make some reasonable approximation to get the decimal places right. You're not just going to, like, here's one thing where I'm not going to be that kind to you. You're still going to lose a lot of points. There's not a lot. You're going to lose some points. But if you ended up with like a whole bunch of numbers out here and you told me there was a whole bunch of numbers and you said that's fine, like, I'm still going to dock you more than just missing your significant figures because you don't want everything. All right. This said, I think we have 2 significant figures here. So if you ended up with 8.3, right, but the real answer was 8.32, I'm not, that's a minor, very, very minor mistake. All right, so that's not something I'm not worried about. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this thing in. All right, we're gonna hit. It looks like I have 2 significant digits, so we're gonna go ahead and say that's 8.3. And yeah, all right, fantastic. All right, let's go ahead and say find a hard one. All right. Ah, there we go. This is a good question. So which is performing more efficiently? A car getting 18 kilometers per liter of gas or one getting 38 miles per gallon of gas? All right. So here's what we have to do with this problem, right? We got to convert either a miles per gallon into a kilometers per liter, or we got to convert kilometers per liter into miles per gallon. Since we're more used to looking at miles per gallon, I'm going to go ahead and go from 18 kilometers per liter into miles per gallon. Okay, so my plan here, right, is to go from 18 kilometers per liter into some miles per gallon, right, or miles per gallon. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right, we got to get 18 kilometers per liter. Right, and I'm going to write down a couple of conversion factors here, okay? We know that it's a length, So we're saying 1 mile equals 1.6093 kilometers. Good grief. 1 mile is equal to 1.6093. Okay, we have 1 mile, 1.6093. And then we have to go from liters to gallons, right? Miles per gallon, liters per kilometers per liter. So we're going to go from liters, which we have 1 gallon is 3.785 liters. Okay, we can see that right down there. Say 1 gallon equals 3 points. I've already lost it. 785 liters. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's set up our little TIE fighters and see how we're going to go here. So we have 18 km, the terrible 18, divided by liters. All right. So the km has to go on the ground here on the bottom because I want miles on the top, right? So we have, I shouldn't have put a 1 there, not yet anyway. So we have miles, we have kilometers. Let's put a km here. So this is 1.6093 kilometers to 1 mile. All right, and then we have our volume, right? We have liters per gallon. So I want my liters up here because it's going to cancel per gallon. So notice, right, when we, I'll use pink for this, when we cancel off our, right, our units, we're going to end up with kilometers. We're going to end up with miles, and we have gallons. Okay, that's always something to check out before you start doing a lot of stuff in the calculator is, am I going to get the right units on my answer? Okay, so we have 1 gallon, and that is equal to 3.785 liters, right? So in the calculator, what we're looking for, right, is we're going to group up the top stuff. So this is 18, technically times 1, but I'm not going to write that, times 3.785 divided by what's on the bottom. Well, technically, again, there's a 1. So you can write it this way, 1.6093 times 1 inside the parentheses. Now, we don't have to do this, okay, because times 1 is just going to be itself. But I don't think we've had too many, I don't think your book asks you too many problems where there's a lot of stuff on the bottom. But just to get kind of used to doing 1 or 2 examples at least that does this, we should probably do a problem like this. Okay, so just for the sake of 18 times 3.785 divided by parentheses, right? 1.6093. Now, if you just typed in 1.6093 right here, you get the right answer. All right, we're not, this is times 1 is kind of silly. Okay, but that's what it would look like if there was another number down here. All right, and this thing apparently gets 42, that's huge. Why can't I have that car? 42.3, we'll say 34. Okay. So my 18 kilometers per hour is equivalent to 42.334 miles per gallon, or kilometers per liter, rather. I hope I didn't say hour. I probably did. But yeah, 18 kilometers per liter is equal to 42.34 miles per gallon. Right? So when I'm looking at this, well, here's my 38 miles per gallon. Actually, I wouldn't mind that car either. But this one is a lot better. Okay, so that's what we're going to say. And then there we go. All right. So let's see here. Can I look at problem number 10? That's got to be hard, right? This is not hard. We're just going from yards to meters. What does our text say? Can we go from yards to meters? Yeah, we can. It's going to be boring. We've done one just like that. We don't need to do more. All right. So, okay, why don't we look at this one? Because these are delightful. All right. So we have welding electron sizes are presently given in inches. Convert the following set of electrode sizes to millimeters. And here they even tell us 1 inch is equal to 25.4 millimeters. Okay. So let's just go ahead with a table like this. Your book loves these kinds of tables. I don't mind it, but at the same time, it's kind of like it's a cheap way to sneak in 4 questions for the price of 1, isn't it? All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just kind of make a note. 1 inch is equal to 25.4 millimeters. I don't know if we're going to do all of these, but why don't we start off with we'll do them all, it's fine. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to say we have 0.030 inches. Okay, let's make our TIE fighter. And we know that 1 inch is equal to 25.4 millimeters. Okay, my inches cancel. We're left with millimeters. And what do we have here? We have 1, 2, 3 significant figures. So let's see, what about that? So we have 0.03. 0.03 times 25.4. Okay, and I got 0.762. Okay, so let's see if it takes that as an answer. It's not going to, if I say check my answer, it's going to count these guys as wrong. So let's go with 0.035 inches. Okay, times 25.4 millimeters to 1 inch. Again, my inches cancel. And then we have 0.035, that's what we have here, 0.035 times 25.4. Okay, this was 0.889. Okay, then we've got 1/64 of an inch. I'm still going to pull this thing, even though I know you don't really want a fraction on top of a fraction, but bear with me on this one. And again, we have 25.4 millimeters, 1 inch. These guys cancel, and then we get an answer. I am going to do it this way, though. We have 1 inch for 64 pieces, okay, and 25.4 millimeters over an inch. Do you think we're going to get the same answer here? Let's find out. Okay, so we have 1 over 64. Oops, I don't want a logarithm. 1 over 64, that equals that number, okay, times 25.4. All right, so this was 0.015645625 times 25.4, and that was equal to 0.396875. Again, these all had 3 decimals. I'm going to probably go ahead and do that and call it 0.397. Right? Or we could try this, right? This is going to be 25.4 divided by, because it's on the bottom, 64. So we're not looking for it in order. We're looking for it as like, let's get all the top stuff together and then divide it by all the bottom stuff. Okay? We're going to get the same thing, 4 divided by 64. And what do you know? All right, got the same thing. So you could break this fraction up like this. If that makes it easier to see it for you, then do that. If you want to put it all on top because it's like, well, it's 1/64 of an inch, this makes more sense, then you go right ahead. It's going to be the same way, either way you do it. All right, so how about that 3/8 inch? All right, 25.4 millimeters per inch. Okay, so where'd you get the because it's 3/8. All right. So let's go ahead and type this one in. Oh, I'm a little bit behind with that one. Let's go with 0.889. And let's go with, what did we have over here? We had 0.397. 7. Okay, my last one here. Okay, it's going to be 3 times. So this would be 3 times 25.4 divided by 8. All right. Or we could do 3/8, right? Figure that out. 0.375, I think. So 3 divided by 8. Okay. Times 25.4. Okay. Either way, you're going to do this. Okay. This is times, is times 25.4. Okay, we ended up with about 9.5. And the same thing is going to go over here, right? We have 3 times 25.4 divided by 8. What do you know? Same deal. Right, so this was 9.325. No, what was this thing? It was 9.525. This is going to take us, oh, okay, I'm surprised it let us do all of that. Usually, if there's going to be a problem, then you're going to have to redo it, figure out where your error is. So I'm glad we got off the hook with this one. So that's measurement. They don't ask you. I mean, these are the kinds of questions they're going to ask. So we're going to go with that. The next section, the next chapter is chapter 7. All right. Actually, here we're going to go. We're going to go ahead and move the chat of this. Yeah, that's fine. Leave page. And we'll go over here. Coursework. I could have just hit back, I guess. And let's see how much of chapter 7 we can get through. So this is 7.4. So let's go ahead and have a gander at that. All right. Oops. 7.4. All right. And let's have a look. Okay. It's been a while since I've seen these questions, so let's find out what we have going. All right. So the basic algebra stuff. This is every kid in 9th grade, their worst nightmare. This is everything that you ever wanted to do with this. Okay. I'm going to walk my niece through this stuff, and if you had to do this in the new methods, I feel bad for you. She had a tough time with it. All right, so here we go. Let's write this down and see what we've got coming. All right, so the goal here is that you kind of want to group everything that's alike with each other. So I usually use currencies. These both have an X attached to them. These don't have anything attached to them. So what I want to do first is I want to subtract 7 from both sides because these don't have X's. Let's put the stuff without X's in it on one side. Keep the stuff with X's in it on this side. Does it matter which side? No. So you're $13 in debt. You spend another $7. And good news, now you're $20 in debt. Okay. I'll use a different value, right? You've got 12 yen and you spend 7 yen. How much do you have left? You have 5 yen. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what's going on here. Okay. So does it matter if I've written it this way or that way? Not really. Okay. So we're going to unmultiply this by dividing, right? You get rid of, knock this 5 out. So we have 5, and we have negative 20 divided by 5. That's equal to a negative 4. Okay. So if I multiply this -4 back by 5 again, we're back here at -20. Okay. We could do another thing too. Okay, we could say, is this true? -7 times -4 plus 12 times -4. Okay, we could do that too. So is -13 equal to 7? Remember, minus times a minus, that's a positive, right? So now we have 28. Okay, minus, you guys know your 12 times tables, right? Minus 48. Okay. If you don't know your 12 times tables, it looks like this, right? So 12, this is going to be extremely radical for you. It's 10 plus 2. So if I ask you, like, hey, what's 6 times 12? What that's really doing is saying, well, that's 6 times 10 plus 6 times 2. All right? So what happened here is this is 6, 10 plus 2, and then I just distributed. So 60 plus 12 is equal to 72. And now you know your 12 times tables. Okay. I learned that from a cartoon. All right. So -13 is equal to, okay, we have 7. It doesn't matter which order you do this. You can just type this onto the computer and do it, right? They're all pluses. So this is 7 plus 28. Oh, I won't turn this thing on. 7 plus 28 minus 48. And then, is it true that -13 is equal to -13? Like, yeah, that's true. We're good. Okay. So if you wanted to check your answer, that is how you check it. Just plug this number in, whatever you found here, plug it in. I think the hardest thing here is order of operations. And unfortunately, Facebook has showed me that that is a problem for a lot of people. I have other ways I would rather ask that question, because nobody does problems the way that they write them out like that. Okay, it's math. It's important that people get the right answer, not that we try to confound people. Okay, so this is -2a. Does it matter if it's on an x? Not really. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to subtract 26 from both sides. That way we get all the stuff with a's in it on one side. Right here I've got $20, but I spent 26, so we're in debt. And then we're going to go ahead and divide both sides by -2. That'll free this a up. And then -6 divided by -2, we get 3. Okay. Let's see here. All right. This is a little bit more difficult because it's got some words in it here. We have the fire damage potential D of a forest is given by D is equal to 2A plus 5. A is equal to the average age in years of the brush in the forest. Okay. Excuse me there. It says if D is equal to 20, find the average age of the brush. Okay. Let's plug that in. D is equal to 2A plus 5. It says D was equal to 20. Determine A. Okay, so we could just plug this in. We could say this is 20 is equal to 2A plus 5. Okay, now we've got to undo this. So you guys remember this thing, right? Multiplication, division are the equal weights, so we view them from left to right. Addition and subtraction are left to right. But when we're solving equations, we go that way. Okay, so the first thing I have to do is get rid of this addition. All right, so it's 20 minus 5. It's 15 is equal to 2A. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and divide both sides by 2. We get A is equal to 7.5. We have 7.5. That's how we do that kind of a problem. Okay, so here we go. pressure, pounds per square inch, or PSI on a submerged body. I forgot to do that. Dang it. There we go. All right. Okay. So the pounds per square inch on a submerged body in a wastewater is given by P is equal to, here's that leading 0.520. So we have 1, 2, 3 significant figures, D plus 14.7, where D is the depth in feet. At what depth is the pressure 27.0 psi? Okay, right to the nearest tenth. Great. Let's write down our formula. So we have, they say we have P is equal to, let's go ahead and do that. So we have P is equal to 0.520 D, 14.7. Sometimes I find it useful to do this. So pressure. And I'll usually draw a little bracket and say PSI, so I know what units I'm talking about, just in case we have a combo problem where this would be in like, what's metric for pressure is pascals. Okay, so we might have to convert, right? We can start doing a 2-for-1 here and putting chapter 5 stuff in here and see how much fun this can be. And D is equal to depth in feet. Okay, so there we go. So at least we don't have to worry about anything because we know that this is depth in feet, this 0.2520 accounts for the fact that this is pounds per square inch and we're talking about feet on the other side. So, you know, they did all the hard work for us. And then they just want to know if the pressure is 27, what's the depth? So if P is equal to 27, what's D? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to say 27 is equal to 0.520 D plus 14.7. Okay, so let's go ahead and subtract 14.7 from both sides. I'm going to be a little bit lazy today about this. I'm going to say, well, what's 27 minus, oops, I went 27 minus 14.7, 12.3 over here is equal to 0.520 D, right? So notice that the D and this number are attached by a times. So what we have to do is, how do we get rid of the times? Is we divide. So 0.520D over 0.520 is equal to 13 or 12.3 divided by 0.520. All right, those cancel out, and that's what we have. Our depth is equal to 12.3 divided by 0.520. Be careful with the decimal places here, because especially if it's on the denominator, on the bottom of the fraction, you could really have some things that are kind of messed up. So 12.3 divided by 0.520. All right, so here's one of those examples where if you type all of this in, I'm not going to be happy with you. All right. So 23.65, 23.65, 6538. 3.6548, I believe. 6538. It's going to make it bigger. No, it's not. Okay, what do the instructions say? The instructions say round to the nearest tenth. So we're going to be rounding to this value here. This is 23, but since this is a 5, we're going to round this guy up. So it's going to be 23.7. All right. I have, I mean, I remember, I'm old enough to remember watching a lot of not infomercials, but advertisements on TV. And they would promise you all these miracle goods for the low price of 3 payments at $19.99. And you look at it, and if you're a little kid, you're going to look at this and you're going to think 10 because there's a 1. It looks like, you know, there's only a 1 here. If you're a little bit older, you're going to look at this and you say, oh, it's $19.99. That's if you don't make any money, that's how you're going to see this. Everybody who actually makes any money is going to look at this and say, that's $20, all right? And since it's 3 times 20, that's a $60 thing. That's not a low price anymore. That's I'm feeling a little, I'm feeling more ripped off the longer I look at this ad. Well, fortunately, see, this is something my parents would look at this and they would say, look, you see these nines, just round this to the next value, okay? So when this is $23.65.38, $63.70. We're not going to worry about this. We're just going to boost it, right? Round it up to the next value. I still have a brother-in-law who's, I'll say this is $20 or $60, and I was like, no, it's less. Like, well, by a penny, yeah, but not by anything that's like useful. So this is $60, dude. It's like not 59.97. Who cares? So we just round it. That's all. 23.7. And let's see here. Okay. Oh, this is a good one. This is awesome. So we have a salesperson has a goal of averaging, right, an average of $2,500 worth of sales per day. Okay. During the first 4 days of the week, she achieved the following daily totals. Right. So we want the average. Okay. So our average is supposed to be 2,500. Okay. A lot of books will write this down as X bar. This is pronounced X bar. Just say 2,500. And how are we going to do that, right? We're going to take Monday plus Tuesday plus Wednesday plus Thursday plus Friday and average it out, right? And that's going to be our average. Okay. So what did they tell us? They said we have here 1980, 2115. Okay, so we have 1980 plus 2115 plus. Would it matter if they jumbled up the days and gave it to us in a different order? Not one little bit, right? Because they're just pluses, and you know that 4 plus 6 is the same as 6 plus 4. That was 3, 4, 4, 4. And what do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4 days. We have to add Friday in. And what are we going to divide by? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and that is equal to 2,500. Okay, our goal here is we have to solve for this variable. Okay, we have to solve for how much do we want on Friday in order to be able to make this average. Okay, so notice that these are all just numbers. We could add those up. Okay, now we got to deal with the fraction, but let's do the easy part of just adding those without worrying about the fraction just first. Okay, so we're going to have a 1980, right, plus a 2115 plus 452 plus 3,444. Now this isn't a number yet, so we're just going to leave this alone. Okay, we've got 7,991 plus whatever we made on Friday divided by 5 is equal to 2,500. Okay. Now, a lot of people like to do weird stuff with fractions. Okay, and you can do something with this. You could do, okay, I don't recommend this, but you could do 7,991 divided by 5 plus f divided by 5 is equal to 2,500. But then when we subtract this, we got to deal with a fraction. I would rather avoid that. So what we're going to do, not worry about this. Okay. We're going to multiply both sides by 5. What that's going to do is it's going to cancel those. Okay. This is on the top, and this is one thing. Both divide by 5. So when we multiply 5 here, it cancels the whole thing. Okay, so we have 7,991 plus whatever we made on Friday, and that is equal to 1250. All right. So we're going to say 2500. If you had 5 quarters, right, how much would you have? That's how I did that. And then we're going to subtract 7991 because they're attached with a plus. So that's how we're going to get rid of that. 7991, and we're going to say F has to be, looking at your previous sales day, either Friday's going to be a really, really busy day for you, or you are not making your goal this week. I didn't want to divide it. What did I do? 12,500 minus 709. There we go. Yeah, so we end up with 4509. That's what she's got to have her target sales on Friday in order to do that. And again, since none of these numbers were like that big, I'm not hopeful that you're going to make this. Okay, so that was 4509. All right. We could always go back and plug it in and make sure it actually works, and that's how you can check that answer. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stop talking here. Okay, and again, I will. I'll put an announcement out. I will be here tomorrow, and we'll do another class tomorrow. I'll not be here on Saturday because I got other things to do on Saturday. I'll see on Sunday. Okay, I'll try for Sunday. I'm not going to promise, but because once I post it, like you guys got about an hour before the final's going to be done at that point, right? Because it's due at midnight. So we'll see how fast I can get this out and do this. But I will meet with you. I will do this tomorrow and post it so that you can have Saturday and Sunday to finish everything off. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and stop and. What I want to do, I want to stop recording. All right, so you guys have a good night. Keep working on your homework. Please let me know if I can help you with doing anything here, and good luck. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.